So you all really want to get to know me. I've gotten quite a few questions from you all. Um, you know, just wanting to get to know me a little bit better. So this video, I'm going to try to answer as many of those questions and as honestly as possible. So let's see. I'm looking at my phone because I'm looking at the questions you guys sent in here. So the first question I have is, have you ever done an esthetician course, and how old are you? So first of all, I am 36 years old. I will be 37 this month. For all the juniors, I have been married for 15 years and I'm the mother of a 4.5-month-old, my first baby. I've never done an esthetician course. I'm not a dermatologist. I'm not a cosmetologist. I'm not a beautician. I have no training in any of those. So why do I talk about skincare and makeup products? It's just because it's a hobby. It's a passion. I grew up with my father being a retailer of cosmetics from, very, very small. And my dad always had books on cosmetology and skin and that kind of thing. And I'm wondering if probably that influenced me. But yeah, I used to be reading those things from as long as I could remember, and I always had a fascination with it. And then of course the other thing is that I had like severe skin problems, acne problems during my teen years and my 20s, and that caused me to do a lot of research and that kind of thing. So that's kind of how come, I ended up, having so much passion and like love for this type of thing. The second question I have is, what's your profession aside from being a makeup and skincare investigator? And a couple other people ask, what's your day job and what do you actually do for a living? So those are the same question basically. And I manage the trade promotion agency or office for foreign government, a Latin American country actually, and I manage that for CARICOM. So I'm involved in business development and trade. Very, very different from what I do here on YouTube, but yeah, that's what I do for a living. How does the new baby affect the balance with work, business, and social media stuff? Any tips? So my baby Hadassah came along and my whole life changed. I literally tell my husband that, when it's both of us, we're both adults, our schedules could be a little bit more flexible with each other and that kind of thing. But with the baby, everything changed. So while I had to be organized before, I have to be even more organized now. So I have a planner. And in my planner, I will tend to go into a little bit more detail about the things that I want to accomplish and when. And then I make full use of my phone. My calendar has everything because I have about 4 or 5 calendars, like 5 calendars of appointments that all merge together because I'm involved in so many things and I wear so many hats. That it's going to be really, really important for me to keep up with that. And so what I do now, because when I get home from work in the evening, from the time I get home until about 10 o'clock at night, that's completely Hadassah time. That's the time that I have with her, so I take maximum advantage of it. I'm not on social media, I'm not answering messages, that kind of thing. So what I do is now I actually have to set aside 2 blocks of time during the day, so that I answer messages in blocks, and I get like probably 60 to 70 inbox messages every day, and it's not very simple. People usually want to have conversations and get advice and that kind of thing and all kinds of things. So that is very, very time consuming. So if I don't put limits on it, it could get crazy. But yeah, I'm having a bit of a challenge managing. I think I'm doing okay so far, but I could do better. But yeah, then somebody asked me this, do you have thyroid issues? And I have gotten this question before of people like being very concerned because when they look at my videos, they may notice, this on my neck. It may look more swollen at certain times, and I do have a goiter. What a goiter is the abnormal swelling of the thyroid gland. I don't have an overactive thyroid or underactive thyroid. I do get it tested every 6 months because my doctor sends me to test my thyroid hormones just to make sure at no time the goiter just suddenly starts to do something or affect my health. And for all the years that I've had it, and I've had it since I was I could remember having this as far back as 11 years old. My thyroid hormones have been pretty good. I have had to do ultrasounds and that kind of thing just to make sure there are not any nodules. It's not cancerous, anything like that. I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. It's just an abnormal swelling. So that's why my neck will tend to look heavier or fatter, I guess, than most people because, I have a goiter and my thyroid gland is abnormally larger than regular people. The next question I have is, how do you shop online? And do you use a skybox service? Yes, I do. It's the way most of us in Trinidad will shop online. You basically sign up with a skybox to get a personal US address, and you ship. I have been shopping online for close to 18 years now. It could be, yeah, could be close to 18 years now. I consider myself an expert when it comes to shopping online. I know how to find sales and bargains and discounts and that kind of thing. So I buy almost everything online for me and my family. Then somebody asked, what was your first skincare splurge? Now, like I mentioned before, I've had skin issues from my teens, and from about 18 or 19 years old, I started to go for professional facials because I realized I really couldn't manage it on my own. And from then, I was purchasing from the estheticians the products that they would recommend, and I would supplement that with drugstore skincare. So I have used brands like Murad and Peter Thomas Roth and Pavonia and Soothis and Repechage. I have been using brands like that for a long time. I just find that some of those brands haven't kind of evolved, the way skincare has evolved. So, I was always accustomed to purchasing at some point in time one or two high-end products as you go along. But I think when it comes to like what I would consider like my real skincare splurge was when I purchased my first bottle of Sunday Riley Good Jeans, because that product alone is like 105 US, I think, for the full size. And that was like, ooh, am I going to buy it? But yeah, I real researched it and stuff before I purchased it. I got it. I love it. It's something that I've purchased backups of. It's phenomenal. And I'm so glad that it was my first skincare splurge. So let me see. Somebody asked, who does your hair? It's Fab. And I was actually surprised to get this one, because anybody who knows me knows that I am not a hair person. Like, I'm always looking for the simplest thing to do with my hair. I don't like to comb my hair. I prefer to do my skincare routine. I love to do my makeup. But when it comes to hair, like, seriously, I could just put my hair in one every time and go. Who does my hair? I have been going by Marcia. I have been going by her. She is in Mid-Center Mall in Chagonas. I've been going by her for years now. Like, I can't remember how many years. Like, real years. Longer than I've been married. And she relaxes my hair. And she does the treatments in my hair. And I probably see her just 3 to 4 times a year. I don't relax my hair very often. Once every 4 months, sometimes longer. And then I do everything else at home. So I do invest in hair products. So I do give my hair like a hair mask or hair treatment weekly, every 2 weeks. And I love using leave-in conditioners and that kind of thing. But really, I'm so flattered that you think my hair looks fabulous, because I think I could do way much more with it, but that's another thing. Somebody asked me, what inspired you to start Sheri Approved? And it's an interesting question, because I have actually been doing, as one of you all put it, skincare investigating for quite a while. Like, because I've had to, research products for myself, whenever I research products, I would tell people about it. I would usually post it on my personal profile. And so over the last few years, a lot of people started to look forward to my opinions. They started to hold my opinions in very high regard. And I've always been very, very honest. My reputation is everything to me. So I'm not going to put my name on something that I don't really believe in or I don't truly love. And then my sister and a friend, 2 of them kept, nudging me like, start something, do YouTube, create a Facebook page, do Instagram, that kind of thing. I'm like, I don't have time for that. And eventually they kept pushing, and I was telling them, if I have to do this, all you need to manage it for me, because I really didn't know how I was going to have time for it. Hence the reason why my YouTube videos, were not as regular before, trying to fix that now, and so on. But yeah, it was really because they pushed me. And now that the pages have been up for a while, it's been interesting. I've been now exposed to a lot more of y'all than just, the 3,000 to 5,000 people that I probably would have been exposed to before. And, it's been a pretty interesting experience for me. But yeah, it was because they literally pushed me to do it. Let's see. Somebody asked to tell about my pregnancy story and tips. That's a whole next video. I really can't talk about it right now, but I can tell you that that Hadassah is my first pregnancy. She's my first baby, and literally I found out that I was pregnant on my birthday last year. It was the best birthday present ever. Somebody asked, what is your race? And I found this to be very interesting. So it means that there are people who are looking at me, they see my pictures, they're looking at my hair, and all they're trying to figure it out, right? To figure out, what is Sheri. So I am what you call locally a Dogla. Literally, I'm mixed with Indian and African. My mother is of East Indian descent, my father's of African descent. But I relax my hair. I cannot handle the curls. My sisters look absolutely gorgeous in it, but I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience. And let's see. So I have 2 more questions that I will answer here. Somebody asked, did you go to university? And if yes, then what did you major in? I went to the University of the West Indies, right in St. Augustine. I majored in management studies and I graduated with first class honors. Interestingly enough, my favorite courses at UE were entrepreneurship and business strategy, right? And the last question I'm going to answer is, how do you choose what we need to hear and when we need to hear it in terms of words of wisdom, skincare, and makeup? So there are 2 things that I would say there. One, there is a certain amount of planning in terms of structure of what things I'm going to share. So every month and every week I'd have an idea of, what things I want to cover, whether it's about products or topics with regards to sharing, your cup of inspiration that I post every now and again. But I always tell those close to me, I also have a level of disorganization. I also do things based on spontaneity or how I feel led to. Most of you know that I'm Christian, so if I really feel God nudging me in a particular way to talk about something or share something, and I had a different plan, I will literally put my plan aside and I'll talk about that. And a lot of times I get messages from you guys that, Sheri, I needed to hear this. This was for me, that kind of thing. So, there's a combination of both. I do have plans, but then if God speaks to me, then that's it, I follow what he has to say. And, I think I answered quite a few things. If you all want to hear this again or want me to do this again, send in more questions and I'll be happy to answer them. Bye.